Games, a game podcast where we bring you the gaming news we care about.
And maybe some that we don't.
And whether you play on easy mode
or you like a good challenge.
This is a show where we'll try to level up your gaming knowledge. Gaming knowledge. Boom.
Welcome. Because we normally forget this part, I'm one of your hosts, Kayla at JK Games.
And I'm Jerica, your other host, and we are so excited because this is probably the 5th time or 6th. Maybe it's infinite. We have a special guest on the show again.
It's me. I'm Josh. High Score Weekly. This is I guess this is the hard launch.
Reveal. Hard launch.
I've been on your show a couple times, but not as High Score Weekly, just as myself. Yeah, I've been on here a lot. I actually gotta say, because Cognitive Clip's in here, I was checking out their stream, and at one point, he was like, "Wait, are you that Final Fantasy guy on JK Games?" I gotta say that actually might have made my year, because all I want to be known for in life is the Final Fantasy guy. So you know, if that's who I am, then that's who I am. But
I would say
thanks for having me again.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for bringing this topic to our show, because Josh actually is the one who really kind of picked the topic, because we knew we wanted to have him on the show again and kind of talk about what he's doing with High Score Weekly a little bit more. But Josh is who actually brought these two very different ideas together into one show, which I'm really excited about, because I have done both of the things and talked about them already a little bit of spoilery discussion. But
I guess, yeah. So my new hard launch of this is, and my little plug, basically High Score Weekly. You go to highscoreweekly.com, you know, on Twitch, High Score Weekly, whatever, Instagram, TikTok, it's all the same. Like I said, I've been a guest. I've known Jericho over 10 years now, probably. I've known you like 8 or 9, about 8 years, I think, for Kayla. So been friends and gamer friends a long time. I used to stream with one of our mutual friends back in 2015 for about 2 years. We tried to be like pro streamers, all right?
In my book, you were like, for real. Seriously,
it was pretty good.
Were.
We did pretty good. We were streaming like 3 nights a week, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, various circumstances, stopped doing that. I'm getting back into a little bit solo. But I didn't really know, like, you know, I mean, everyone's streaming these days. So like, how do you differentiate yourself a little bit? And I'm not really doing it so much to be like a mega influencer or whatever. I just want to do something for myself, because, you know, I just want to use this as a creative outlet. So I am focusing a little bit more on video game music. That's why it's called High Score Weekly. Get it? Because it's high score, because it's a game, and it's like a score like music.
It is good. It's good.
But basically, the concept is to focus a little bit more on video game music. I'm going to be doing some long form content. I've been planning for 2025 to like roll out some stuff, pre-record some stuff. So I'm doing some long form specials on video game composers like Nobuo Uematsu, Yoko Shimomura, Yasunori Mitsuda, all those. I'm going to be doing interviews with both each of you, and I've talked to Cognitive Clips already a little bit, maybe hitting them up and some other people. And so I'm going to be kind of doing a mixture of short form and long form contents surrounding video game music. So if you like that, highscoreweekly.com or all the socials, you know.
Yeah. And if you want an easy way, we are co-streaming right now. So you can just click the little his little logo at the bottom of your screen, depending on where you're watching. But that's a great way to pitch what you're doing
Kiwi, for the people. Follow. See, it's already working.
Hey, look at that.
I have like 3 followers on here.
Hell yeah.
If you're here, you know what we do already, but you may not. So for those who don't, this is a video game podcast where we talk about main topic we like to have guests on, but we usually do our podcast in 3 different modes. We have our easy mode, where we talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing, what we've been going around doing. We have some interesting things come out of that segment sometimes. And then we have our normal mode, where we talk about our news, what we've been, whatever's hot in the news at this week. We don't have anything to talk about, so we're going to dive straight into our main topic, which is our expert mode, where we're going to talk about Infinity Nikki, which has taken the world by storm, and also Secret Level. And I'm excited about both of those things. So if you want to follow us on all socials, JK Games Podcast, that's where we are on Twitch, where we go live on Mondays. We took a break last week for Christmas, but our Arcane episode should be up soon, right, Jericho? Which was with Cognitive Clips.
Yes. Finished editing today, and it's a doozy in a good way. You know, I was really scared that because at one point when we hit 2 hours, it was a little concerning. I was just started rambling real bad in my head. But I went back to the episode. You know, I watched most of it today because I had to do a lot of cuts. Not like removing, but just fixing some audio things. And it's a really good episode, y'all. We have a piece of gold that we're about to just present the world. So if you love Arcane and want to hear some goofballs like what you see here talk about Arcane, and have CC have some amazing jokes. He did the video intro for that one, by the way, and it's real good joke. Stay tuned. That should be up tomorrow, so I'll definitely put everything out on socials so people know that it's live. But yeah, good episode.
I'm excited for that one to be live.
I can't wait for Josh to finish the show.
I know.
Yes, Josh.
I know.
You gotta watch
I know.
it.
I've been plugging my ears. I know.
I've already mentioned this to Josh. I'm looking at a local theater right now, trying to gauge local interest to get a lot of people. I'm
gonna catch up. You said don't watch the last 2 or last 3 or something?
Last 3 episodes.
Last 3. Okay.
Depending on how that works out, we might end up, I might just say, Josh, come over to my house, or I'll come to your house. I will log into Netflix, whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
I'll come too.
I want to watch that with you.
Okay.
I just want to watch the last 3 episodes with other people that haven't seen it again. We did it together.
Joy. It was wonderful. Kiwi is absolutely going crazy in the chat. Yeah. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted
Valorant?
subs.
What is happening?
I guess Valorant is in our chat.
I'm about to do this. I'm about to, anytime someone gifts 5 subs, is this against the rules to do a dance?
No, you can do it.
No, it's encouraged.
It's not gonna be that kind of dance, Kayla. I thought you said, "Oh no, don't do it."
No.
Meow. This is called
this might make people not want to gift subs. To not
Josh is doing the long leg.
Yeah.
Have you seen long legs?
No.
Mommy.
Oh God.
Daddy. Okay. That's just some stretching,
crazy.
I think. I didn't really dance. I stretched.
Thank you guys so much. That's very kind.
I know what's going on with Valorant. That was weird. I was like, what?
I don't know. I think it said that there was a matching for the gifting, which was amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. But as much as that was incredible, and I would love to see Jerica dance some more, one thing we did want to mention is
it might have been a lot of crouch. Crouch.
I think there was a appropriate amount of crouch involved. Our new design, our new logo is from French Dip. Is it the French Dip design?
The French Dip.
Yes. Tell us about that, Jerica.
I mean, yeah, you should definitely, if you need someone to design a logo for you, definitely reach out to them. It's the first time I've ever professionally asked for a logo or design work. Yeah. And I was the first email was I don't know how to ask for what I want, and I don't want to be that client that just says make all this it's easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, instead of just sort of pitching, we just had a conversation about what he actually went through and watched some of our episodes and helped tell a story with our logo, and it was so sweet. So down to earth, super nice, really good at designing, obviously. So definitely check out the French Dip. Most socials.
I like all the graphics, but you did some of the graphics too, huh?
Yeah, I played around. I dabbled.
Yeah,
I dabbled.
It looks good.
It just takes me all day to make one little small thing because I'm just looking at it over and over.
Our people animation is not on this one, but if you look at our hard Instagram post, you'll see that I have replaced my item from a taco to something else. So you have to go look at it to see what it is.
I did design that controller that's in her hands now. So
you just spoiled it.
Revealed.
Oh, my bad.
I was trying to make him go.
I was going to pull it up
I didn't hear that part.
Okay. Oh, well.
Damn. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Now they're not going to go click on things and look at things. Damn it.
It's a controller.
Or is it?
Or is it? What kind of controller? You don't know. Who knows? Could be anything. But I would love to know, aside from Infinity Nikki, let's dive into our easy mode. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, guys. Let's talk about it. We can't be rude. We have to let our guests go first.
Okay.
And if, for people who may not know you, maybe this gives a little insight to your gaming taste. But obviously, we'll talk more about Infinity and Nikki later in our expert mode. But other than that, have you been playing anything else? What have you been into lately?
Yeah, the last maybe 2 or 3 times, every time I come on here and you ask me this, I always basically say whatever the latest Final Fantasy 14 expansion is. Because if you for the last few years, I've been a little bit busy, not tons of time to like dedicate to like a lot of games. I still like am involved in like the industry and obviously video game music and stuff, but I don't have like tons of times, like especially like beat games. I hardly ever beat games. And then when I play, we'll play socially. We'll play like multiplayer games, Fortnite or like whatever. But there are like a lot of experiences. I don't have like tons of time, but I actually have been playing some a little bit. And so, what basically, like, okay, hear me out. Balatro, dangerous, right?
Real dangerous.
So I've been playing some card games. Balatro, I heard when it came out, but I wasn't really interested. And then when it got nominated for the Game of the Year, I was like, "What? Like, is this serious?" And so I was like, "I got to try it," and it was bad because. CC says I just got Balatro yesterday. Yeah. So even my experience, maybe other people share this experience, but I downloaded it. I mean, it's solitaire. So I was like, it's not that interesting.
It was poker.
And it's poker. Sorry, it's poker. You're correcting me. Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, is this one?
So I was like, you play a few little things. I'm like, I kind of get it, but I'm like, I don't know. It's not that, I don't know. It's just not that interesting. I don't know, something at some moment, something just clicks, like it clicks over how the design is, how the progression is. And it goes crazy. And once it like clicks in your brain, it's like the world expands, right? And you're like, it's like going from 2D to 3D or something. And they're like going from like black and white to color. And you're like, oh my gosh, like you start seeing like all like what the actual possibilities are. And that's when it hooks you and it's like, you can't stop because
nice.
It has that procedural generated kind of feel to it. So it's like each run is almost, it's a little bit random, but there's still strategy to it. And so it's very addictive. And on the topic of card games, I'm still been playing every day Pokemon trading card game.
Yes,
and so
the new deck.
The new decks came out.
New cards come out again next month, right?
Yeah, this was like a short, this is like an intermediate deck. But also shout to Audrey because she goes in and likes my showcase every day without fail.
Aww.
So there you go. But
supportive.
Balatro, everyone in the chat's loving Balatro, actually, it sounds like. Have any of you played that?
I actually picked it up so I could talk about it in the episode with Respawning and Fire. Those boys talking about the game of the year, and I just wanted to at least put my hands on it as well. Just I'm like, it got nominated game of the year. But I knew from the moment that I started hearing everyone like getting hyped about this game like earlier this year, I knew it was going to be a slippery slope for me. I don't even know how to play poker, but I just know like everyone's talking about this. It's a card game, roguelike card game.
They make it really easy too because you can just click on that little window, Yeah, you could just see like this is what the different options are.
And
basically.
And to your point, it's so easy just to hop in and play a few rounds and like just to see how far you could go. Like even with Inscription, it's a little bit more of a dedication to sticking with it a little bit longer. But this don't take too long for me to play. And also could be because I just really suck at it, but it's fun. I see where it's going when I'm progressing, and I'm like, nah, this is a good game. Made by one person. How crazy is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That is insane. I haven't played it, but I've watched gameplay, and then I watched my brother-in-law. He's addicted to it, and he's been playing it. I didn't want to pass by too much from the additional gifted sub from Matt from Ree. You are in the same league as Valorant, so you should be excited. 4 more for Jerica to do another little dancey dance,
Just 4 more.
No big deal.
Listen, and we also forgot to shout out Dallas. He is pretty much the reason why we have a podcast. It's because Matt is also a friend of Dallas, and that reminded me. If you didn't know, Dallas provided me a PS5 30th anniversary PS5 Pro, He sold it to me at retail cost because he's the best friend, the bestest friend I've ever had in my life. I have a picture of his family on the fridge that I worship every morning. And I'm so thankful that I have this PS5 Pro anniversary, 30th anniversary edition. Okay, continue. Sorry.
That's amazing. Game Over Cholo said, we have to. Game Over Cholo said, Balatro is currently third game with the most Game of the Year awards. First is Astrobot. Second is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
This is a good, like, just quick conversation piece around that, because it's like, yeah, you see like the Game of the Year awards is like, it's Astrobot. That's a first party developer. Final Fantasy Rebirth. It's like $100 million budget. Elden Ring, you know, the expansion, another really massive, like whatever. And then you have like this card game made by one person. But I think for me, like, it makes sense because if you think about like a Game of the Year, and not to like slide on Elden Ring expansion, because obviously it's amazing, a lot, whatever, but like, to me, something that is like feels fresh is like really interesting to me. And so even though like it's poker, which has been around forever, and it's procedurally generated stuff, which has also been around forever, something about the combination of combining those and the way it's presented and packaged together, it makes it feel really fresh and unique. And so that's the kind of stuff I like to see on like Game of the Year stuff. I don't really care about necessarily the budget or like AAA indie, whatever.
Yeah.
Just if it feels like a unique experience, I think it's well deserved. Even if it didn't win like all of them, I think the recognition, you know, is good.
Yeah, for sure. So, Jerica, you've been playing some things as well, and you finished something, I heard.
I finished Dragon Age. I can stay in the house.
You're
now.
Not homeless anymore.
I'm not homeless. I was actually playing on the street. You know, had a little power like battery thing hooked up to my PlayStation 5 Pro Anniversary Edition. I'm glad no one just like tried to steal it from me. But yeah, I finished Dragon Age, and so my next project is doing a review essay video thing on it. So I'm trying to like, I'm still not reading any reviews about it or listening to anyone's thoughts, opinions. I'm trying to go in like real raw. Well, I don't know why I keep saying raw. I want to be raw when I go in and talk about my experience with it.
It's your hot dog verbiage.
I have some opinions, and you know, I say it like that, but as a big BioWare fan, but more so a Mass Effect fan, I was eager to play this. So like, obviously, I was just so glad to play a new BioWare game where hopefully they get it right. And I'm going to talk all about that in that video. Not going to do it here.
Nice.
So I finished it.
I would love an essay from you. So that's the little preview for your essay. Is that generally positive, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And then you did also speak on it a bit in your episode with Spotlight, right? I think a few weeks ago.
I did,
but that was your
like,
spoiler free.
At the time, I thought I was a lot further along, and I was probably like halfway there. So I was like, I should be able to finish this in a couple of days. No, it took me probably another 2 weeks to actually get to it and finish. And since then I've been y'all, I got into something. I got into another game.
Here we go.
It's one I've picked up and put down a few times, and not because it's not good. It's just I get pulled into something else, and I have a feeling this game might be my cyberpunk. Which is funny because it's sort of you'll see why it's funny in a second. Like I finally played through Cyberpunk after I saw all the awards that Phantom Liberty was winning. Like I was like, all right, these DLC just like makes this game apparently. So let me play it beginning to end. And Cyberpunk was a great time. I ended up having a lot of fun. So I started playing The Witcher 3.
Oh, have you ever played that before?
And my God, I'm playing like the like most recent like updated version.
Yeah,
runs really good on PS5. I know I could probably play it on PC and have all the frames. I don't know. I don't probably, but at least on the PS5, it's 60 FPS and it looks real good. Like the HDR looks amazing. And this game's over 10 years old, I think, at this point, or right at 10 years. So funny enough, like that was the first game I beat last year that I started around the same time was Cyberpunk, and now I'm playing The Witcher 3.
Okay, you're on those CD Projekt Red games.
Yeah, I just
just shout out High Score Weekly stuff. The Blood and Wine Witcher 3 expansion, top tier music.
Okay,
some great tracks on some of my favorite fantasy game music is on that, specifically the expansion soundtrack. Very good.
I can't
Good to
wait. This version of the game that I bought includes both DLCs, and yeah, I remember hearing, not specifically about the music, but like now that I know even the music's great. God,
It's good.
people are saying
I mean,
how
yeah, Witcher
incredible the
3
DLC
overall,
is.
but the Blood and
Yeah,
Wine music, it's like on another level.
Okay, yeah, and I think so. I'm going to stick to this. I'm going against myself again. Just know, people, I will say things a lot. I need to start holding myself accountable. Maybe I will one day. I need to go beat Astrobot. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I need to play
God, I'm having
Astrobot.
such a good time
Oh
in The
my
Witcher.
gosh.
Like I'm having
It looks
so
like my
much
perfect
fun.
game.
It's hard to sometimes balance. I'm sure, especially like specifically like gaming content creators or really just anyone in games, it's hard to balance playing new releases versus playing backlog things that you want to play. That's a tough
Yeah.
one to do. I
might stream a little Witcher tonight. Like
Ooh,
I'm feeling
Yeah,
good.
why not?
What's a coin?
I want to play some more. I've been thinking about it all day.
I played a little bit. I haven't beaten it because I know it's like super long, and I'm
Me neither.
like
I
I'm
didn't
similar
beat it.
similar to Josh. I don't really beat games very often, but I did start it, and I did really like it, and especially after seeing the new Witcher 4 like the reveal at the Game Awards, I definitely want to go back and beat it because that looked so good.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how good that game is, despite being 10 years old, I think now.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay is solid. Like using the abilities and like the Witcher's powers, I don't know what they're called. But and then just the swordplay and parry is really it feels really good.
It is pretty smooth. Well, that's a lot of games you've been playing. Is there any other things that you wanted to check on?
That's it.
Those are
That's
big
all I've been
games.
playing.
I have also finished a game.
Wow.
Yeah, drum roll.
Look at us, we're beating games left and right.
Finished a game.
Gamers.
Wow. Who would have thought? I'll talk more in depth at a later time. Probably not a video essay, just to be frank. Which, speaking of Cognitive Clips, the video essay king himself did offer his services if you would be interested.
I need them. I do.
You should check out his stuff if you don't already. He does really good video essays. But I finished Life is Strange Double Exposure. Finished it.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. It took me longer than I would like to admit because it's not super long. I think it's Life is Strange does episodic. I think it's 5 episodes, so it's not super long. It just took me a minute to get into it because obviously life things have been going on. All I'll say, and no spoilers involved at all, is it's a really good Life is Strange game, but it's not my favorite Life is Strange game. And that's really all I'll say. I have critiques that don't necessarily have anything to do with it does have to do somewhat with the story. The gameplay I really enjoyed. I think they added some innovative things into the mechanics that, as opposed to the normal Life is Strange things that you get. There's some new cool things that they add. I love what they've done with that trajectory, but there is some story beats that bother me a little bit. I do feel like your choices don't necessarily impact as much as they normally do, or they're not as heavily weighted as they normally are. And that's really all I'll say on that. But I did finish it. Very happy to have finished it. Other things that I'm playing are also Pokemon like crazy. Literally so much Pokemon trading card game. I'm obsessed. And then obviously Infinity Nikki, which we'll discuss. But the other game that's a 2024 release that I definitely want to talk about because I feel like I don't see enough people talk about it is I started playing Closer the Distance, which is on Steam on sale right now. I think you can get it on all platforms. It's on sale for $10 on Steam. It's actually published by Skybound Games, who does the Telltale games, Walking Dead, Telltale, and obviously some other things. And it's developed by Osmotic Studios, who has only done a couple of things. But it's described as a slice of life sim, which I would agree with, but it is definitely more of a narrative story that you're following with your character. It's very unique the way that it's almost like claymation looking, kind of the way that it looks. The music is phenomenal. Basically you're following this girl, her sister passes away. Like that's like the whole premise. It's not a spoiler. And she's like hearing her sister's voice like in her head and is like commanding her to do certain things, not in like a bad way, but like she can hear her sister's voice and everyone thinks that she's like lost her mind. But you're following the impact on this town after the girl dies, and you can follow a bunch of different characters and you can control their actions. And you have to do like normal basic things like eat and like that's why it's kind of that's why it's kind of like a little bit of a slice of life, but you're kind of seeing the ripple effect of the impact. And it also is like choice based, like so certain things you do can impact other things. And I like that the way that you can kind of have like your character be idle. Or you can kind of like really just observe. It's almost not open world, but the environment is very interactive where you can kind of like observe different conversations. And the game will notify you if there's like an important event going on that you need to be witnessing. So like if you're with one character, if you're with one character, and there's another conversation happening that you need to be a part of, you can click on it and it'll like transport you to that character. So it's kind of like real time as well. Like there's a day progressing and you'll like roll over to the next day. And you can see like there's like a menu with each character about their relationships and different story beats. It's really cool. I would definitely recommend it. I don't know how long it is, but it's a new release that I think that you should play if you like narrative stories about like this one particularly about grief, but there's a lot of other aspects to it that you should check out.
Yeah, you sent me the soundtrack. I gotta check
what is it again? What's the name of it again? I've been just sort of getting close every time.
Closer the Distance.
Dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
You sent me the soundtrack. I still need to check it out.
You should react to it. It reminds me of, if you want to know games that I feel like are similar, it reminds me of What Remains of Edith Finch and also Gone Home. It reminds me of both of those.
Okay.
This is like my jam for real. Yeah.
Okay.
So check it out. Not enough people are talking about it, but
it's on sale. Yeah. Half off right now.
But you know what people are talking about?
What? What are they talking about?
Infinity Nikki. They're talking about it. They're talking about it. They're discussing it just like we're going to here now. I haven't been reading the chat, but it seems like you guys are hyping up this game.
I've been reading. Anyone in chat play Infinity Nikki? Let us know.
Let us know. But Josh, go ahead and Josh has done some great notes leading us into this discussion. So I would love if Josh could kick it off about what is Infinity Nikki? What is...
I did bring this up. I was like, hey, if you're thinking about doing, I didn't know what's on their roster, but I was like, if you're thinking about doing an Infinity Nikki show, invite me because I've been playing it every day. And then you guys are like, well, I think Jerka said, well, Audra's playing, you were going to try it. And then you had said, like, you keep seeing like clips of it, like on everything. And so I got you guys to kind of give it a try. But literally I've been playing it at least a little bit every day because it is kind of like an online element to it. And so there's some like daily kind of stuff you can do to like get certain crafting materials or whatever every day. So I do like a little bit, but I'm also like pretty far, maybe midway into like the current story. They're adding more story like with different content updates. So I'm like level 35 or something. But okay, if you don't know what Infinity Nikki is, it's actually the 5th game in the Nikki series. Okay.
I didn't know that.
This is the 5th game. This is a follow-up to 2019's Shining Nikki. This is made by a developer called it just blanked my mind, but they're called Paper something. You can get a correction on that basically, but Paper Games. Okay, got it.
Okay.
And they basically just make these. They have made some other stuff, but they basically just make these. It started off. These started off as mobile games. Okay, these are all just mobile games where you're like. The first one was just like a dress up, mobile game. But from the second one on, they started to get like some storyline into there and stuff. And actually, it's insane. You'll have to do some like look after like a rabbit hole because there's like alternate universes. There's like wars and like crazy like traumatic kind of stuff going on. And the basic gameplay loop of these games, though, is around styling a character. Now, what makes Infinity Nikki cool, which just came out, like it literally just came out like in December or at the end of November, is that it's open world. So it's almost like Breath of
Yeah.
the Wild, or Genshin is like a common comparison, because it is a free to play. This is free to play, and it is on currently PC, PS5, and mobile. So if you have Android or iPhone, it's on there too. So they didn't abandon their mobile roots. You can play it on there. You can pick up the same character. Like I do this all the time. Like I'll log on to my phone and do like my dailies, but the graphics are a little bit on the PS5 or the PC, so I'll play it on there. But it has a great storyline actually, and so I like a lot of JRPGs and stuff. And this whole world is so whimsical. The graphics are great too. Like it's actually really nice. It's a really good looking game. Fully voice acted for the most part. You can do Japanese or with English subtitles, or it has English dubs. Great cast of characters. But it's really what makes this unique. And this is what we'll kind of get into a little bit, and hear your thoughts on it too, is this game. And I immediately noticed is like, this game it's a girls kind of game. This is not made for, it's not made for the boys. It's not made for the male gaze. The gaze. So you play in Genshin. Genshin is popular with men and women.
Well, I guess,
but Genshin is very like, you're pulling the gacha aspect of that is you're pulling new characters, and they always make these kind of certain type of women characters are like the ones you want to get or use, and it's got the gaze, And
what
so
Josh can't say is they have the jigglies.
Yeah, that's one aspect of it too. Is like this game doesn't have those kind of physics, right? So like, if you look at there's so much detail in the dress physics and cloth physics and stuff, but other aspects of like body parts and stuff, they don't move around like some of these other kind of anime games, which is very interesting. And I think that this brings up an interesting discussion because, I mean, you guys, you're two females who game and have a gaming podcast, but a lot of the games that you play or want to play or have fun playing, you're kind of having to put up with some things, and maybe just having to ignore certain aspects of it, especially anime games. I'm sorry, like Final Fantasy is one of my favorite of all times, but they're guilty of this too. It's very common in a lot of Eastern games where female characters are reduced to a certain kind of either objectification or a certain trope or like a certain kind of depiction. And so when you have a game like this, it feels so refreshing because it's like it removes all that, right? And it's like you're just having fun. You're just petting dogs. You're on your little bicycle jumping around. You're collecting clothes. It's a good time, and it doesn't have all that on it. And one thing briefly before we get into some of your discussion too is like I watched some interviews with like the CEO, and he's pretty young. I think he looks to be in his late 20s, maybe. I don't know if that's true, but Paper Games is a Chinese company, and I watched this interview with him, and he was talking about how he feels like for game developers, the gaming field is mostly like men, obviously, like a lot of these developers. Well, his creative team is like all women, basically. He's like the only guy.
That's
and so
really
he said
cool.
the way is like to know what women want is to basically have women make the game, right? That makes so much sense. But they're also not just targeting it towards the most money, but like women have spin too. And so it's like they're obviously it's a gacha game. You're not pulling characters, you're pulling outfits. And so it's like they just are catering specifically towards women to play this, and it's just a feel-good kind of time. It does have platforming. It does have boss fights and combat, but the main kind of loop is doing these quests and unlocking more clothes and styling your character. Just style battles. There's like boss battles where you have to like style clothes against them and stuff. But I don't know. What are some of your first impressions like playing this, or your first impressions of it?
I'll say I did not. So I hopped on last night, like last minute, and I was like, oh, that's going to be one of those moments where I only play like 30 minutes, and then I just probably will start falling asleep because it's getting late. And I ended up playing for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And I was pleasantly surprised. I want to be honest, I'm not really into it's like I love the aesthetic, and I do enjoy watching anime, but sometimes when I'm playing a game, I just want it to be a little bit more serious. And I was like, I'm gonna see what this is about. I don't know if it can be the narrative can grab me. I don't know if that's gonna grab me to allow me to keep playing.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I was surprised. It is actually an interesting story. I don't know where she's been teleported to. I love
Miraland.
Momo, the kitty cat,
Yes,
little
Momo.
companion, so
Momo. Oh
cute.
my god, I love
And
Momo.
I felt so much love from the vocalist, whoever's voicing Momo. Like I just
I
feel like they're
love
in the
Momo's
room
voice
with
in
me.
English. Yeah.
It's so good. And yeah, like I'm all in. Like the only thing well, before I get to that, I was really sort of blown away by like, how open world it was and like how
Yeah,
many I love exploring and just finding shit to get into.
I love
And there's
collecting.
constantly
There's
something
collecting.
to
There's so much
collect. And
collecting.
I love it. You would think it gets a little boring, but with this, and it might down the road, I don't know, Josh, I'll have to maybe answer that in a second, but like I was already I'm just exploring the world. I rented a bike. I'm zipping
Mhm.
around collecting stuff to make some really cool dresses because this one makes me float. I want to make more dresses to do more cool stuff in this
Mhm.
world. There's combat. Like there's a dress that you have that lets you shoot like this little ball of magic at these
Mhm.
little evil creatures. Sorry if I'm butchering what everything's called because I don't remember.
No, you're good.
Uh, but yeah, it was fun. I did a platforming. I found this like portal in the middle of the field somewhere,
Hmm.
and it took me into this like Destiny-esque,
Yeah,
a Destiny
there's
2
a lot of
level.
platforming challenges. Those are kind of like
Yeah.
the Breath of the Wild shrines too. Those are scattered like around too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, okay. This was fun. This was actually not super easy either. So for me, anyways. But yeah, it's super fun. I like the world. I like the dialogue between the characters. And yeah, the only thing that sort of makes me struggle a little bit because you know me, I can barely get Fortnite to work or know how to go to the right mode in Call of Duty. I'm like a grandma over here. There's a lot in the UI in this game.
This is-
A little
Yeah.
I'm glad you
overwhelmed.
mentioned that. I didn't put that in our notes, but because I played Call of Duty recently, the newer one too, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I cannot figure this UI. I almost felt the same way. It's like a boy UI and a girl UI with the Call of Duty
Yeah.
and Infinity. Nikki.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Other
I
than that, though, like
agree.
I like it. You know, Kayla, how much did you play of it?
I've played probably like 4 or 5 hours of
Damn,
it.
okay.
Yeah, like not 45, 4 to 5
Yeah.
hours.
425.
But one of my quick, I'm gonna lead with a qualm because we were just talking about it. But the UI also bothers me. And what's funny is I've expressed that I'm in a current not great internet situation right now, but I was texting Josh and I was like, okay,
Mhm.
yay, it finally downloaded. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And it was just the launcher that I downloaded. And so I was like, oh damn. I was like, damn it, the launcher. And so then I had to download the game. And then I did download the game, and then I had an update like the next day. And I think that's just like from what Josh was talking about, it's kind of like classic like MMO type, like there's the servers down or there's a new update. But I think that that's the downside, but the upside to that is you are pretty much constantly getting new content, which is great. But once I actually got to play the game, it is very, before I even really saw much online, which confirmed like that a lot of other women are feeling the same. It's like very wholesome. It makes me feel kind of like that nostalgic part that like makes you want to like cry a little bit. That's how I feel about it. Cause like it reminds me of the first thing when I started playing it. It reminds me of the classic like Barbie games, like the CD-ROM Barbie games that I would play when I was a kid. And so I don't know if it's like the way that the character moves, even like the way that the sound effects are, like everything's very like tailored, it feels like, to the feminine experience. Like, not to say boys can't play it, because obviously Josh is playing it. But it does definitely, there's a lot of care and thought put into the way that it feels, which is really awesome. And I think even a part of me, like just being vulnerable, had a little bit of like repressed, like, I don't know if it's misogyny or what, because like when Josh was talking to me about this game, I was like, I don't feel like this is going to be like a real game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, you're
Right.
right.
You're saying
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking though. So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, like, even being a woman playing games like that, I was thinking that already, like before I was judging it, like without even realizing why or like what I was doing. I was like, oh well, that's probably not like a real game, but it is a real game. It's a gamey game. There's a lot of like like great elements in it. Like we were talking about the platforming, like the fights, the collecting. I love collecting in games. I love like having different materials and having to like figure out what to craft and how different things unlock different areas. Like very, very interesting, very fun. I love all of the like characters that you interact with. Even the NPCs all have personality, and the cutscenes are incredible. That first lady that you meet, what's her name, Josh? That you were telling me about.
There's
the curator.
I forget her name, but she's in the Stylist Guild.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And so like I love all of that. I love the story where it's heading. I love the Momo is such a fun companion. But yeah, so I'm having a great time, and I will continue to play and have a good time. I think this is definitely a game I could see like sinking a lot of time into, and like just being something that I go back to like pick up.
Just something like you pick up once in a while, like because I sort of forgot to even mention, just like it was just so cozy to play. Like the music's
it's cozy.
Great. It's relaxing a little bit. Yeah, it's like I was like, well, I'm sort of enjoying this a little bit too much. Like, yeah, it's a good cozy game too. So it will be something I keep on my PlayStation to go in between, like, I know, killing some demons in The Witcher, and then
I think what Kayla was saying is like very interesting, because like what you're saying is like, obviously, like, yeah, I mean, guys can play it too, but most video games, 99% are the target audience is men. And so it's like, and I'm not into all those big booba stuff either, really, on the games. So it's like, it's awkward. All that stuff's awkward anyway. I have to like kind of ignore that myself. But so it's interesting to play something that is like basically high budget, like what you're saying. Like you maybe heard of it and like, oh, this is not going to be very good. But that's the CEO's goal, is to like create something good for women specifically. That's like, this is for you. This is targeted for you. Like, yeah, men can play it, but it's like, we're not really caring about like necessarily like if the feedback is more scantily clad clothes or whatever. They're not going to listen to that, but they're really good at listening to player feedback too. And that's one of the advantages of having like kind of this online. I think they're trying to eventually have where you can play with friends. Right now, it's a single player experience. You can't even. It's like an MMO that's single player right now. But they listened to a lot of feedback. They've already made multiple, even since I've been playing, like quality of life changes. Like at first, when you unlock the grooming outfit where you groom little animals, it plays like a little jingle. And you could skip it, but it would still play the last little part of the jingle. So it's annoying if you're like farming, crafting material, like petting all the animals. And after like 2 weeks of the game being out, they fix it so it skips the whole cutscene.
That's really cool.
Then last night, they just had a big patch, and they made it where you could skip certain platforming sections or even some of the boss fights, because some people just want the cozy aspect of the game. And some of the main story quests was kind of challenging, like you were saying. And so they've already added accessibility options, like just last night, to be able to like pass some of that, which is cool. Because some of the boss fights are actually, it reminds me of Final Fantasy 14 boss fights, because like you have to stand in certain areas and move out of the way of attacks. There's like dodge. You have to dodge out of certain attacks and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. And then I even did like one of the main story quests has you go in the sewer. Of course, like a froggy sewer or something with like these cute frogs, but it's like hardcore platforming, and you have to like dodge all this stuff that's shooting at you while you're like platforming. So like, it's not just like it's not like a game with no substance. There's actually substance to it.
Yes,
and
that's a good way to put it.
The gacha aspect of it, like if you compare it to Genshin, where you're pulling characters, you're pulling a character and you may or may not like it. But with this, pulling different pieces of outfits, because you can do obviously like every kind of outfit piece, but there's accessories, there's makeup, there's even perfume that has like effects. And so I like that you could even pull like outfits, but you can combine and piece them together in different ways and stuff. So
yeah,
very, very cool.
And it's cool that each thing has a different ability. Like I love the different outfits that have different abilities. And I thought that was going to be like annoying to deal with, because I was like, oh wait, am I going to have to change my outfit every single time I want to do something? But the way that they integrate it is really cool, with the different like key commands and key binds, like being certain outfits that allow you to do certain abilities. I think that's really, really cool. Travman pointed out something that I wanted to point out, which was biggest fix was removing the loud, noisy startup screen.
I love that. So
no
factoid. Do you know who's the vocalist for that song?
No.
We're talking about the Infinity Nikki song, right?
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like the Jump Up Superstar Super Mario Odyssey song, but It's actually, the vocalist is Jessie J. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's
oh my
like
God,
I
very,
do.
very famous. She has that collab track with like Nicki Minaj and Ariana Grande.
I didn't know she's doing these. I haven't
She's a
heard
vocalist
from her in a long
This is
time.
high
I feel
budget.
like
This is
she's-
big budget.
Let's go.
I played this one scene. I told Caleb about it a little bit, but it blew my mind. I was like, my jaw was like dropping because it's a free to play game. But it was like you go into this dream warehouse where all the people's dreams are stored. And it actually looked like a Destiny raid at this point because there's like huge bookshelves on the left and right. And you have to platform like this giant, like through this giant level, like platform down and stuff. It reminded me of like Vault of Glass or something. And so you get in, and it's like a big library, and there's like millions of wishes and dreams stored as paper cranes. And you get to this part where it's just piles of paper cranes and they're flying in the air. It's really beautiful. It looks like that game Monument Valley kind of, but like at this like huge scope. And you step on this paper crane to like have it ferry you the other way. And all of a sudden this like vocal track about like flying around like starts playing and stuff. And this was like a Barbie movie moment if you've ever seen a Barbie movie, because it's like, this is insane that this is just in this game and you're able to like move the camera around and like look while you're flying around, this whole song's playing. Like, I don't know. I'm interested in this game. They've already done the second update that adds a little bit more to the story. So I don't know how long the story's going to go, but they're adding it as they go. So if you hit the end, there's like more that they keep adding. And yeah, very cool. Very cool. I'm in.
Yeah.
Infinity Nikki.
I'm in too. Thank you for, honestly, like I had seen stuff about it before you told us, but I hadn't really had, like I was talking about earlier, had that much like genuine interest. So I'm really glad that I downloaded it and started playing it. I might try to stream it one day. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Mr. Hawks 182 in the chat, is this French dip? Or are you do no French dip? Because they said, ooh, look at that awesome new logo. I bet the person who designed it is incredibly talented and is from Colorado. Yes, absolutely.
I do like the logo.
Well, we do have one other thing that we wanted to discuss this evening, taking a little bit of a turn, but maybe not that much of a turn. Secret Level. Josh, what is Secret Level? And why should we watch it?
It came out on Amazon a couple weeks ago. They dropped the first half of the episodes. Now all the episodes are out. It's 15 episodes. And this has been in the works for several years. And it's basically, it's created by Tim Miller, who is the director of Deadpool and produced all 3 Sonic movies. And essentially it is a episodic look at different games. So it's 15 episodes and each episode is from a different video game series. This is, what's interesting about it is they're different lengths. Some are about 8 to 10 minutes. Some are 15 minutes. I think the longest ones are about 18 minutes. So there's different lengths. There's different art styles. And there's different kinds of storytelling.
Love, Death, and Robots, right?
Yes. Love, Death, and Robot.
Yeah.
He won a lot of awards for
I was
that.
like, I think
no,
that.
yeah, for sure. Yep. That's what he's most known for right in this moment. And so it's kind of a video game TV show. And I thought this was interesting to bring up to this too, because, well, you guys have your Last of Us podcast. There's
Clicker
a plug
Bay,
for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think we're at this time where like a lot of people who've played games have grown up with it. Like people like us, our age, or even Gen Z, a little younger Gen Z, they've grown up playing games. It's like very normalized, like playing games. And so we still have this barrier of like games and other kind of media, right? Games and even video game music. It's not necessarily as respected as just like other kinds of music or movies or shows. And there, video games have a bad track record of like pretty bad shows and movies. But recently we've been on a bit of a streak. We've had Last of Us. We've had Fallout.
Arcane.
We've had
the best one.
Yeah, Arcane, of course. Sonic movies have been doing really well in the box office. They just beat out Disney in the box office. Sonic 3 just beat out Mufasa. So it's like we're doing some crazy stuff with video games and movies and shows. So here's another thing to look at, which is Secret Level. I know you guys maybe didn't watch all of them, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think I got through the first 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Just ran out of time. But they
so
were all
watching in any order. None of them are connected. Nothing's connected.
Yeah.
They're just little shorts. They're in, you can watch them in any order, really. There's no connection. But what I feel like is like, one thing about me is I'm not that, even though like I can be critical about like games or whatever. With movies and like shows, I'm pretty easily entertained. Actually, it's kind of funny. Like I'm not that movie picky. I pretty much think most things are pretty good if it's like entertaining. And so I found Secret Level to be overall entertaining. A couple of them were really stand out for me. I think the ones that I kind of listed as maybe being my top 3 or 4 was Armored Core. I'm already forgetting some of it. What did I say? Honor of Kings. And I'm on the spot. I'm blanking now. The Warhammer one, actually.
Yes.
And then, of course, I like the Mega Man one just for nostalgia. It was way too short, but I love the Mega Man one. But so you have like these different properties. The Warhammer one was really good, like sci-fi horror. I thought it was presented really well. But I think one thing that was interesting was because Concord, which is a PlayStation game, got canceled this year. It had come out and got canceled, but the episode for this has been in production and just came out. It was almost like a promo for Concord, but Concord doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
And at the same time, another sci-fi episode was for Odyssey, Exodus Odyssey, which is a game being made by BioWare devs. And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Jerica, I want you to check out this episode. That's
it's so good. It's in my top. It's incredible.
Oh, you saw it. Okay. So
what episode is that?
It's called Odyssey Exodus or Exodus Odyssey. I'm on a yapping mind blur right now. But wait, what is it? Exodus Odyssey. Sorry.
Okay.
So this game is being made by BioWare employees, and it's sort of like a spiritual successor to Mass Effect in the sense that like it's a new sci-fi epic. And so the basic premise of the episode on Secret Level is that a daughter kind of runs off to find adventure, explore the galaxy against her like parents' wishes, and the dad goes to find her, but they get time out of sync, basically. So she's always moving around, and he's like one step behind her, but she's aging at a faster rate than he is, essentially. And so by the time he catches up to her, she's like older than him, essentially.
Oh, I bet that was good.
It's a really cool episode. There's a lot of action in it too. And that's one thing I like about some of the exploration of these, because these are like short episodes. And so by the time you kind of maybe get sick of one or like think like, oh, this was not that good, it's pretty much over. So it's like, I like when things are like, just brief. And I know me and Kayla read a lot too. And so it's like, it reminds me of like a novella or something where it's like, just a short presentation of like a concept or a story that is explored in a compact kind of way. What did you think of that episode?
I loved that episode. I think that was one of my favorite ones because even though like I do appreciate a lot of them had like pretty intense action, I do think some of them leaned a little bit too much on that. And so like there were some episodes where I didn't feel like I didn't know the franchise well. And so I didn't feel super connected because I just felt like I was dropped into like a fight scene, but didn't know like anything that was going on, which is kind of the point because like you said, it is like short, compact episodes, which I do like. I like something that can be hooky and like short, but it's so cool. But visually, super impressive, all of them. Yeah. But the Exodus one, the reason why I liked that one, probably one of the most that I liked the most, I think it was in my top 3 for sure, which I haven't finished all of them. I think I've watched maybe 10 of 15 though, so majority. I liked it because it had a pretty contained story. Like you got to see like beginning, middle, end kind of, but there's still more to be desired from like if you were to play that in a video game as well. Yes. But my other top 2, I really liked the Pac-Man one because it was freaky. Jerica, did you watch the Pac-Man one?
No, and I'm not too concerned with spoilers, but maybe that's the one I want to be surprised with because I'm like, what kind of story is the deal with Pac-Man? Like, I need to know it. The rest of them I could care less, but not that I don't care, but like, that's the one I want to be like, I want to know where they take that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you
like the Mega Man one is straightforward. It's like Mega Man, but that one is different.
It's different. And you should watch it. It's very,
I was going to say I didn't care, but your reaction and how you brought it up, I was like, I want that to be a surprise. I want that to be a Doki Doki Literature Club situation.
Yeah,
for me.
I understand. I totally understand.
Perfect. We love that. So that's my number 1. That was my favorite one.
Interesting.
And then number 2 was the Saifu one. I thought was really good.
Sifu, So you know
Sifu,
the
sorry.
gameplay loop of Sifu, right? Is like if you take
Yes.
damage or whatever, yeah, you get older, and so they played with that really well. I think that's a good example of crossing the games with the movie, because I think, like you're saying, they are dropping you in, and you might not know a lot about that world. But I think if you showed that to someone who wasn't a gamer, and didn't know anything about it, I think you would still understand like what's going on. And it's
Yeah.
just an interesting concept anyway, like getting older when you fight or whatever. And so
Yeah.
I think it's presented well. That's a good mesh of like presenting those
Mhm.
concepts.
I
And that's-
wonder, you
Yeah.
know, bringing that up made me sort of think like how involved like some of the writing teams and like, you know, people that worked on those games, like how involved are they in helping this team create these, you know, some of the stories are new, some of them are just, you know, alternate reality situations, I'm sure. But some are like Sifu, like it's basically like how do you tell the story of this game but in like 15 minutes or less? Like
Yeah.
it's almost like it's
Great
a
question.
chapter.
I haven't looked too much into
fun. I just wonder how involved like the
I haven't looked
game
too much into
writers.
the behind the scenes. Yeah, but I do know, like, well, without spoiling Pac-Man, because there's a game coming out, like a new game, and I believe the game or the episode was kind of a promo for the game. So I think that in that case, like the game people will probably work very closely with the show people.
Yeah. It probably
you-
varies because, like, are they really getting the Pac-Man devs involved?
I don't
You know what I mean?
Well, me and Josh, we talked about this a little bit, but like I can just see how this could be very lucrative for a lot of different reasons, like in ways to make money, but also in ways to explore like creatively and test like, do people want more of this game or stories from this universe? So I'm really glad something like this exists. I hope they announced if they're going to do another season
They got picked
or
up
keep
for
going
another
with
season this month. So what are some games you would like to see in season 2?
it. Let's go, Mass
Mr.
Effect. Mass Effect, even though it's about to have its own show, but like I'd love to
Mass
see.
Effect.
I need to see a contained little.
It
Small
would
little
fit. I would
Mass
say
Effect.
just based
It
on
would.
how the story in this was, like it would fit.
In
could-
Destiny,
they
could-
you can just do so
Destiny,
much with
they
Destiny.
could totally do a Destiny one.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Mr. Hawk said Shadow Labyrinth is that new game.
Oh. Is that a joke or is that actually it?
He's just
I don't know
referring
what
to the
that
new
means.
Pac-Man. I
Is that
believe
it?
new
Oh,
Pac-Man.
okay.
Is that-
Okay,
No,
gotcha.
the new Pac-Man is new Pac-Man, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would love to see, this is just me a soapbox for me to talk about some of my favorite games of all time, but I think Titanfall would work really well.
Oh,
with
yeah.
something
it
like
totally
this.
would. So the Armor Core
Yeah.
episode, it's a short one.
It reminds me of
Game
that,
Over Show
yeah.
said Armor Core. The Armor and the Unreal Tournament one was good too. The Armor Core, cringy good for D&D is a good description of that too. But the
Yeah.
Armor Core one was so good. That's actually one of my top ones. And it was
Yeah.
short, but like the vibes, like oh
The
my
vibes
gosh, it
were
made
great.
you want to like keep watching something like that because it's like
Yeah.
insane, you know?
What about like any kind of like mascotty, you know, platformers that maybe Josh that
So
you're
Spelunky was a close one in this one. I didn't
Okay.
like that episode. I felt it was too video gamey.
Okay.
But I think like Animal Crossing would be really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wanna
you
see
know,
Animal
that
Crossing would be really good.
the little what are their names? What are the little brothers? The Nooks.
Timmy and Tommy, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see what they get
Yeah.
into at night. You know,
Blaster
What are they
Goblin
up-
said we need a Jack and Daxter episode. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like
that would
that,
be.
right?
I think that would be a good
Uh,
spot for that too.
Even like Infinity Nikki, get her in here, you know, get
Just
Momo
like-
Yeah.
in there, you know what I mean?
IP that hasn't seen the light of day in a long
Yeah.
time. You know, that has such good,
Ape
just had
Escape.
huge fan bases. Like
Well,
we're dying for
Ape
another
Escape would be good.
game.
One thing I did put this in our notes too that I thought was interesting is like this is a pretty good mix of both Western and Eastern games
Mhm.
because like I know this happens a lot like at Game Awards shows too sometimes because like Honor of Kings was one of my favorite episodes in this one. I thought it was just excellent. But most
Yeah, it
people
was really
here like
good.
don't even like it's like what is Honor of Kings?
I
Like
have no
never
idea
heard
what
of
that is.
But like I put some stats down, which is crazy because like Honor of Kings in 2023 grossed $1.48 billion. That's more than any Hollywood movie grossed last year. It beat Barbie, it beat Super Mario movie. And so it's
Wow.
like some of these games are giant properties, whether like we know that much about them or like play them or not. And so they had Honor of Kings and they had Crossfire, which is a Korean game too. And so I think that's cool. Like even though it's a Western produced series that they're representing things that
That
are
is
popular
cool.
in other markets too, and it introduces people to maybe some of those worlds. I mean, I kind of want to check out Honor of Kings, and it's kind of like League of Legends, but I want to check it out just
Yeah.
because that episode was so good. I love that one.
That's a really interesting concept to think about because like that's one of my things was I didn't know about a lot of these franchises, but I could see like I wonder what their selection process was like as far as what they were choosing to
I don't know.
showcase.
I wonder if it's like Jeff Keighley where he just goes around, feels out developers. You know?
Yeah, like who would be interested?
Cognitive Clerk
'Cause
said, "Give me a
sure there has
Metroid
to be,
episode." Metroid would be so good.
like some approval processes and like I
Yeah.
don't know like what that looks like to be.
I
able
feel like it's
to,
closely because the Concord one was clearly like this is a commercial for Concord,
Yeah,
but it got canceled. So Sony
RIP.
paid. I imagine Sony paid them like it's almost like product placement, right? It's a fine line between like art and commercial, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
it is.
I think it's done well. The writing of them has been really good.
I think
and yeah,
the-
some of them are more jokey than others. Like Outer Worlds is a little jokey, but that fits for that universe. New World was a little too jokey for me, but very interesting. I'd like to
seems
see
like it was
more.
a
and
match
it's renewed.
made
So.
in heaven, like literally. Like if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be this animation studio. And
The
I forgot his
graphics,
name.
and I love how the art style is different in different things, and
Mhm.
and it just like Kayla was mentioning, it just looks really good overall, like the fidelity and the music stuff, the music and just sound design and audio. I listened to it on
Yeah.
with headphones on actually, and it just sounded really good,
It's an
like
Atmos,
the audio.
I noticed it was
Yeah,
an Atmos.
and the Mega Man one, even though way too short, and it was basically just a teaser essentially, but there's a little section where he kind of turns into Mega Man, and it's playing like a full cinematic orchestral medley of like Mega Man music.
Oh, that's
it,
cool.
It gave me chills. It gave me chills. It was good.
The music in the Armored Core one was really good too. It had a
Yeah,
little bit of the
exactly.
metal music, which I thought was really
Yeah.
cool. But I also hadn't seen a ton about this. I know it sounds like it's been really popular.
I heard
but
more about it before it came out, which was funny, especially when
Yeah.
when Concord got canceled. It came up in the
Mhm.
news cycle because it was like, oh my gosh, that Secret Level show is doing a Concord episode, and so
Yeah.
I heard a lot about it. Like when it came out, I think it has mixed critical review, which I kind of understand. But again, like they're so short and compact, and like I think there's a little bit of something for everyone. Like even if there's one episode in this that maybe connects with you or that you like. I think it's an interesting
Low
exploration
stakes.
of these ideas. Yeah, I want to see more. So I'm interested in. I don't know how long it takes. Probably a long time. It'll probably be
Yeah.
a while. But I thought they were good.
Wow. Well, thanks for bringing both of these ideas to us as an episode because I do think like I was excited to talk about Infinity Nikki and all that came with that and this too. Like I think both were there's something in the gaming space that has not necessarily been done before, like the having shorts like that based on different franchises. Like I can't think of anything else that's really done that. So
There's like some really old stuff, like old cartoons that tried to do this kind of stuff, but nothing like to the scale like in the modern times, I think.
in the modern days.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to see what comes from season 2. Maybe 10 years from now. I'm just kidding. Maybe not 10 years, but
Yeah.
Do
we'll
y'all
do
remember there's
couple
a
years from now.
Mass Effect show in the works? Like, I didn't
forgot.
dream that, did I? That's
I
actually
don't recall
happening.
that.
That's actually happening. So
Like, is it like a
Jerica,
show like being shopped around? Did someone pick it up? Like,
I think it's forget the person that's doing it, like director or whatever, producer.
Chat, help us. Do you
It's
remember?
Amazon.
I'm pulling it up. Oh, Amazon's
Okay.
doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They are. It says it says they're moving ahead with it. It's been in limbo.
Yeah.
But they're moving ahead.
Well,
The Fast
I
and Furious
will
9
just-
writer.
There you
Okay,
go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's the writer.
Thanks,
Interesting.
CC, for watching. We're about to end soon, anyways. The sleepies are calling too. They're also
I want to
calling
play
to
some
me.
Witcher. I might play a little bit.
Do
before
it,
she's
She's
done.
she might be streaming Witcher. Who knows?
I think I
Hey,
am.
Stay on. Stay on.
Stay
I'll
on.
be
I definitely
here.
will need to pee and like put something in my
Yeah.
gut, so I might, in the stream. But
A late
if you're
night
bored,
Witcher stream.
yeah,
Oh, hi, French Dip Design. We were just talking about you. Thanks for joining. We're about to end, but thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Guys, this is the one and only that did our new logo.
It's a great
So
logo.
definitely
It's a
go-
great look.
It's a great
So
it's a
good.
great look.
it's just
Legendary.
dripping. Just dripping.
Josh, before we end,
Yeah.
one more time, where can everybody
All
find
right.
you?
One more plug again. I'm Josh, High Score Weekly. We're co-streaming this right now on Twitch, so you can follow me here on Twitch, High Score Weekly, highscoreweekly.com. It's got links to Instagram, the TikTok, everything. It's just High Score Weekly everywhere. The basic concept is I'm just starting. If you look at the stuff now, there's not that much on there. I have like 3 followers on here. Thanks again, Kiwi, for following me tonight. But essentially, I'm focused on video game music. So we're going to be looking at new video game music that comes out. I'm going to be doing retrospectives on like best, video game tracks from 1997 or like specific years. I'm going to be doing, best. I'm promoting this video because I was working on it. I wanted it to hit on New Year's Eve, so tomorrow. I'm doing best cozy game music of 2024 and best game music of 2024. So that'll be on TikTok and Instagram and whatever, YouTube Shorts. I'm going to be doing long form YouTube interviews and episodes and essays about video game music. And then on Twitch, I'll probably be streaming different music games or doing like little interviews, kind of like what we're doing now, but centered around video game music. So basically, just remember that video game music, blah, 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 High Score Weekly. So if you like game music, that's where I'm at.
I definitely think you and Cognitive Flips need to connect because, that'd be some good stuff right there. And then also, Josh, you need to finish season 1 of Arcane.
Okay. That's my homework.
Because if you love video game music, if it's a video game show and it's got incredible music, after you watch season 1, though, I'm not going to tell you to watch season 2.
Okay.
Yes, get to that. After you finish that, do watch Bridging the Rift. It's like 4 or 5 episodes of making it.
Documentary.
And they have just one episode about the soundtrack and like.
Oh yeah, perfect.
It's all in-house, Josh. They do like all their stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, check it out.
Good recommendation.
Thank you all
Thanks for having me again.
Joining.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your sub gifts, all of you.
Mm-hmm.
That was very kind, especially Valorant.
Unfortunately, you didn't see me dance again. So just know next time I will do dances now for subscriptions, I guess. That sounds so dirty when I say it out loud. I dance for subs.
Whoever missed that, we got to go back and clip that because that truly.
No, they have to pay for that content. I'm going to scrub it. Can I remove it? I don't want people getting that for free. Gotta toss some dollars at me to get that. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. All right, y'all. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.